Title: My sister tried to cut off contact with her best friend for literally no reason after a disaster wedding, but a disgusting truth was revealed which exposed my sister as a manipulator and liar. Start: I watched her from across the cafe, sipping my coffee while she laughed with her friends, oblivious to the storm I had been building for months. My sister, smiling like an angel, always convinced everyone she was pure, loyal, untouchable. I wanted to puke. She had ended her friendship with her best friend. No argument, no reason, just silence, cold messages, and a subtle smear campaign. I couldn't understand it at first. She had always bragged about loyalty, about trust, and yet here she was, cutting someone off over nothing? I tried to ignore it, tried to reason that maybe there was a private grudge I didn't know about. But something in her eyes that day, sharp, calculating, and almost predatory, told me this wasn't petty, it was deliberate. The bond between my sister and her best friend had been legendary in our circles. Sleepovers, shared secrets, tear-streaked faces in hospital rooms when our grandmother passed. They were inseparable, or at least, they were. And I had watched that bond twist into something toxic under my sister's manipulations. She wanted control. She wanted admiration. She wanted the illusion of being perfect while crushing anyone who dared challenge her. I learned the truth by accident, or maybe it was fate. One evening, my sister left her tablet unlocked. A single notification blinked, a text from her ex-friend, hesitant, pleading. "Why did you lie about me at the wedding? Why did you tell everyone I sabotaged your day?" My heart pounded. I opened the thread, scrolling through a trail of evidence she thought I'd never see. Gaslighting, lies about stolen gifts, fabricated stories about betrayal. She had orchestrated a scene at her disaster wedding, blaming this friend for minor mishaps, and then cut her off like a surgeon amputating a limb. I felt rage, sharp, cold. But I didn't act immediately. I watched, I noted, I collected proof. Screenshots, receipts, witness statements. Everything she said, everything she lied about, I documented meticulously. I played my role, calm, neutral, the unsuspecting sibling. She didn't suspect a thing. I had learned the art of silence. Months of preparation followed. I didn't just want her exposed, I wanted her reputation, the very pedestal she had built around herself, to crumble elegantly, undeniably. I created a quiet dossier, emails, images, corroborated accounts. I waited for the right moment. Timing was everything. The execution was surgical. First, I leaked subtle hints to mutual friends, those who had always admired her perfection. Small, believable stories that cast doubt without revealing my hand. Next, I arranged a gathering, family and close friends, and invited her ex-friend under the guise of reconciliation. My sister arrived, radiant, smug, thinking she was the architect of the social scene. I let the evening unfold naturally. Then I spoke. Not loudly, not accusingly, I merely shared the curated evidence, one piece at a time. Screenshots, texts, fabricated claims laid bare. Her eyes flickered between disbelief and panic. The room leaned in, silent, as the narrative unraveled. Every friend who had silently doubted her nodded subtly, confirmation flashing in their eyes. "What? This can't be true," she whispered, voice trembling. I smiled softly, controlled. "It is. Every word, every lie." The fallout was exquisite. She tried to defend herself, to twist the story, to charm and manipulate, but the evidence was indisputable. Witnesses corroborated every detail. Her friends turned, not with malice, but with clarity. The admiration she had taken for granted evaporated. The queen of perfection was exposed as a master manipulator, and I was the silent hand that unveiled it. I didn't gloat, I didn't yell, I simply let her collapse under the weight of her own deception. And in that moment, I realized the power of patience, of intelligence, of carefully orchestrated truth. The following weeks were quiet. My sister retreated, her social media quieted, her messages unanswered. Friends who had once flocked to her now approached me, cautiously at first, but with recognition and respect. The shift was subtle but undeniable. I had risen without fire, without chaos, without visible battle. And I felt the strange, sweet clarity of justice. Not the vindictive kind that burns your soul. This was cold, precise, and morally unassailable. I had simply mirrored her methods against her, careful, strategic, and unyielding. Sometimes, late at night, I catch myself smiling at the memory of her face when the evidence went up, at the calculated steps I took, at the satisfaction of watching truth reclaim its place. Betrayal had been a poison, but revenge, masterfully executed, was an antidote that healed not just me, but the balance she tried to destroy. I don't seek more. I don't need more. I let her fall, and I rose. Silent, patient, unstoppable. Some people think revenge is messy. They think it must be loud, chaotic, destructive. But real power, real satisfaction comes from planning, precision, and patience. Watching someone crumble under the weight of their own deceit, it's not revenge, it's justice. And in that, I am free.